Jai Hind everyone. Today we are going to discuss triple T diagram. Triple T diagram is called time, temperature, transformation diagram and isothermal phase diagram. So first we need to understand what is diffusion. So the movement of particles in a solid from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration, resulting from into a uniform distribution of the substance. So this is the high concentration region and this is the low concentration region. So particles move from high concentration region to the low concentration region in the diffusion. So diffusion is a passive process, which means no energy is needed, and the molecules diffuse until they are evenly spaced apart and equilibrium is established. So molecules diffuse spontaneously from region of high concentration to the region of low concentration until diffusion equilibrium is established. So C1 is the high concentration region, C2 is the low concentration region. So particles move from C1 to C2 in this x direction. So for one famous law for steady state diffusion is the Fick's first law, which states that the movement of particle from high to low concentration is directly proportional to the particle concentration gradient. So J is the diffusion flux, which is proportional to dC upon dx, which is the concentration gradient. So J is equals to minus d dC upon dx, where negative sign indicates a decrease in concentration, but flux is a positive quantity. So d is the diffusion coefficient. So as we have seen that eutectoid reaction in iron carbon diagram in lecture 1, that austenite converts below the eutectoid isotherm line, austenite converts into two different solid. One is ferrite and one is cementite. So this is the reaction we already know, where gamma is the austenite, which is having weight percent of carbon 0.76, alpha is the ferrite, which is having carbon concentration of 0.022, and Fe3C is having carbon content of 6.7 weight percent. So this transformation is a diffusion assisted transformation. So now we see the formation of perlite from the austenite. As we all know, above the eutectoid isotherm line, which is the 727 degrees centigrade, all FeC alloy of this category, eutectoid alloy, are austenite phase, which is having the austenite grain structure. But below the eutectoid isotherm line, the austenite converts into the ferrite and cementite, which is the perlite. So perlite is an alternate layer of ferrite and cementite. So here this is the austenite grain, and below the eutectoid isotherm line it changes into the perlite. So diffusion is the process of redistribution of carbon into a ferrite and cementite phase. So this is by the diffusion. So carbon movement is indicated by arrow. So diffusion of carbon is indicated by the arrows. As we know, the carbon concentration of austenite is 0.76 weight percent. Austenite, which is gamma, is having the maximum solid solubility of carbon of 0.76 weight percent, and it transforms into the ferrite, and ferrite is having maximum carbon solid solubility of 0.022 weight percent. So here the austenite is having the carbon concentration of 0.76 weight percent, and this austenite grain after the eutectoid isotherm line changes to perlite. So as we know, the ferrite can accommodate only 0.022 weight percent carbon. So carbon diffuses from this region of austenite. When the ferrite is forming from the austenite, the carbon diffuses from this region to form the cementite, and cementite Fe3C is shown by the blue color. This is the cementite. So cementite forms, and cementite is having the carbon concentration of 6.7 weight percent. So carbon diffuses to a minimal distance. That's why the layered structure is formed. So ferrite, alternate layers of ferrite and cementite is formed because of this diffusion process. So this is the growth direction of the perlite. So perlite forms from this direction below the eutectoid isotherm line, and it extends into the austenite grain structure like this. So this is the diffusion of C during transformation. So carbon diffuses here. These dots are showing the diffusion of carbon into the austenite grain. So now we will discuss the isothermal transformation diagram, and before we have discussed the diffusion, because transformation, most of the iron carbon alloys transformation are diffusion assisted transformation. So isothermal transformation diagram, as I already told you, that it is also called the time temperature transformation diagram, or simply triple T diagram. So triple T diagram shows the relationship between the temperature and time taken for decomposition transformation to take place into a metal when the transformation is isothermal, means at constant temperature. So it assesses the decomposition of austenite in a heat treatable alloy and provides the information for the process of austenite decomposition under the non-equilibrium condition, means transformation of austenite to the time and temperature conditions. So this is showing the some part of triple T plot. So triple T plot is the plot of time versus temperature, and it is generated by plotting the data of transformation, means percentage of transformation with respect to time in isotherm, in logarithm. So this is the percentage of perlite transformation. This axis is showing the time. So how this plot is created? So this vertical axis is showing the temperature, this horizontal axis is showing the time, logarithm of time. Then this plot is the time versus temperature diagram, and plotted with the help of percentage of transformation with respect to time. So first we need to know how the transformation plot, this triple T diagram, is plotted. So first, at various range of temperature, we get the data of percentage transformation of perlite at a particular duration of time. Then this top figure is showing the how the data is transferred into the triple T diagram. So this axis, this vertical axis is showing the temperature, and the axis, horizontal axis is showing the logarithm of time, and these two solid curves, red curve and green curve, are plotted by the data of transformation with respect to the time. So this red curve is showing the transformation start curve, and this green curve is showing the transformation completion or end curve, and this dotted blue line showing the 50% completion of transformation from austenite to perlite. So this figure is showing the how the data transfer is made to prepare the triple T plot. So these two solid curves, red curve and green curve, are the transformation curve. Red curve is the transformation initiation or start curve or begin curve. Means at this curve, all the phase in alloy, FEC alloy, is austenite, and when the temperature, when the time exceeds from this curve, the transformation begins. So at this red line, transformation begins. That's why this line is called transformation start line, transformation begin line, or transformation means transformation start curve, transformation begin curve, or transformation initiation curve. This green curve is showing the completion curve, means completion, 100% completion of perlite is occurred here at this line, and this data is generated at a range of temperature. So this line is showing this horizontal line at 727 degree centigrade, showing the isotherm, eutectoid isotherm line. So above this line, the FeC alloy is austenite, and below this line, below this horizontal line, in the left side of the red curve, the phase is austenite. The FeC alloy in the austenite phase, which is the unstable phase. So this curve is valid for only eutectoid alloy, which is having the eutectoid composition. Then the nature of diagram means this curve changed for the other composition. So when we see here, transformation rate is inversely proportional to the time required for 50% completion. So these two curves are nearly parallel, and the transformation rate decreases with decrease in the temperature. And for nearly about 540 degrees centigrade, the transformation starts at about 3 seconds. So on the right side of the green curve, the austenite completely converted into the pearlite phase for this temperature range, 540 degree up to 540 degrees centigrade. In the left side, austenite will exist, and the right side of the green curve, on the left side of the red curve, austenite will exist, and on the right side of the green curve, only pearlite will exist. And two macro constituents exist, austenite and pearlite, in between these two curves. Means in between the red curve and green curve, two macro constituents, one is austenite and one is pearlite, coexist between these two curves. So we can see here, on the left side of the red curve, only austenite grains are present, and in between these two curves, both the micro constituents, gamma austenite and alternate layer of ferrite and cementite, means pearlite, will coexist. So both the macro constituents exist in between these two lines, and this dashed line is showing the transformation completion, and this up to this dotted line, transformation completes up to 50%, and at this green curve, the dots represents the 100% transformation from austenite to pearlite completed. And on the right side of the green curve, the phase is completely pearlite. So the ratio of thickness of ferrite and cementite is about 8:1. So the thickness ratio of ferrite and cementite is approximately about 8:1. But it depends on the absolute thickness of the layer, depends upon the transformation temperature. So nearly about this temperature, 740 degree, below the 727 degree centigrade, coarse pearlite will exist. But when the temperature decreases and nearly about 540, in this range, 540 degrees centigrade, fine pearlite will exist. It is due to the transformation temperature. At high transformation temperature, the carbon atom diffuses to the long distances. That's why the layers are relatively thick and coarse pearlite will form. But when the temperature decreases, the diffusion of carbon decreases, and the diffusion of carbon is up to the small distances in the low temperature. So that's why the fine pearlite will create. Means in fine pearlite, the layer thickness are relatively thin. So the fine pearlite will created at this temperature. Now this line is showing the transformation is occurring. So in between these red and green curve, transformation curves, there is a transformation is occurring. So apart from perlite, some other constituents, some other macro constituents also exist in the triple T plot. So one of the macro constituent is the benite. So P is showing the perlite phase, A is showing the austenite phase, and AB is the both phases, austenite and benite. Here P plus A is the perlite plus austenite. So above this temperature, above 540 degrees centigrade, on the left side of the curve only austenite will exist. In between these two curves, perlite and austenite both phases are coexist, and on the right side of the green curve, on the right side of the transformation and curve, only perlite will exist, and the layer thickness and the coarse perlite and fine perlite formation depends upon the isothermal temperature. At higher temperature, coarse perlite will form. At lower temperature, fine perlite will form. And below this temperature, 540 degrees centigrade, the transformation rate is maximum, and it forms the C shape here. And at point N is the nose of this curve. Point N is called the nose of this curve, and the shape is like letter C. And below this nose, up to this temperature 220 degrees centigrade, on the left side of the red curve, means the transformation start curve, only austenite will exist, which is the unstable austenite. And in between the red and green curve, in between these two transformation curve, austenite and benite both will coexist, and on the right side of the green curve, only benite will exist. So benite is having both the constituents, perlite and both the constituents, ferrite and cementite. So benite is having both the macro constituents, ferrite and cementite. So this is also a diffusion assisted transformation, because both the macro constituents, both the ferrite and cementite exist, but there is no alternate layer of ferrite and cementite as this is there in the perlite. Perlite is having plate-like or needle-like structure, as we can see in the microstructure of benite. And this, between these two transformation lines, both macro constituents, austenite and benite, coexist. So this is the complete triple T diagram. So in the exams, you have to draw this diagram for triple T plot. This is the complete triple T time temperature transformation diagram with all the phases. So we have seen up to this point that above 220 degrees centigrade and in between 540 and 220 degrees centigrade, benite will form. Benite is the transformation product. Above the 540 degrees centigrade to 727 degree centigrade, perlite is the transformation product. But if we rapidly cool the iron carbon alloy below this temperature, below the 220 degrees centigrade, martensite will form. So M is representing the martensite structure. So martensite structure is diffusion less, is a product of diffusion less transformation, whereas perlite and benite both are diffusion assisted transformation product. So there is no diffusion process involved in the martensite formation. This is the non-equilibrium phase of iron carbon alloy. This is the single phase structure. Martensite is the single phase structure, and it forms upon the rapid cooling or quenching the iron carbon alloy from the austenite temperature. So 227 degrees centigrade, this horizontal line is representing the martensite start line. So austenite will directly convert into the martensite, and this is the martensite start line at which the martensite begins to form, and these two lines M50 and M90 are showing the transformation completion of martensite from the austenite, and both the macro constituents martensite and austenite will coexist here. So linear nature of this line is showing this is temperature independent transformation from austenite to martensite, which is called the athermal transformation. So this is all about the triple T plot. So thank you for watching the video. Jai Hind.